Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the live stream today and good morning. I will say last night was a pretty crazy night in the market. We had stocks end up falling down all across the board. We have ETFs like UVXY pushing up today as stocks are falling off. Obviously, these stocks are opening up a little bit higher here. SPY is starting to move up a little bit at open. It looks like it is turning around now. We are running into that volatility that you would expect, or we're going to see probably a lot of up and down movement here within the first couple minutes of market open. Initially, we had a little bit of a green candle. Now we are moving back off to the downside. Definitely some bad selling pressure coming into the market here. Let's check out that daily chart really quick because I think it's important. The SPY just keeps getting lower and lower and lower, and it's kind of throwing people off guard right now, I feel like. Obviously, people want the market down, but, at the same time, the market now, at this point, we've had like 3 or 4 terrible red days where we're pretty far off the top, too. SPY had a top of 432 just about. We're all the way down to 392 now. That's a pretty big 40-point move there. So definitely be ready here for the SPY. I feel like it can definitely continue down, so keep that on the radar. But I will say I'm almost getting ready for a bit of like an intraday move back to the upside at some point. That's honestly kind of like what I'm looking for here. I know for the guys who have been on the stream for the past couple of weeks, last week I got some UVXY calls. I'm still holding 3 of those. I cut 2 of them. I took $240 in profit. These 3 are up a total of $296 right now. Not as high as it was when I did the first cut, but it's really close. It's getting there. If SPY keeps breaking lower, I am covered by those UVXY calls, so I don't really need to, worry about any more put plays to the downside or anything like that. But I will say, if you see SPY running with momentum today, some puts might not be a bad thing to get into. We're going to have to see how these chip stocks hold, how AMD holds. I mean, these stocks are down quite a bit, even just from the gap downs last night. Like AMD is already down 3.2%. NVIDIA is already down 5.6%. I mean, that's brutal, guys. And look at that daily chart for NVIDIA. NVIDIA is all the way down, almost testing its low here of like 140. So definitely a big level for them. We're going to have to see if they can hold this or not. I will say it's definitely a crazy look for NVIDIA. It's a pretty bad sell-off there, and the way that it looks, it doesn't really look like it's going to bounce here to me. It might bounce for a couple of days, but I wouldn't be surprised if it kept going lower than 140, honestly, especially if we keep seeing stocks like Apple fall down and other stocks like that. And for Apple, guys, I will say, I've been looking at Apple for a while now. I've been looking at it out of this channel. It had a good break down and out of it a while ago. I've been talking about this for a few days now, and it's continuing to move down and out of this. This is part of the reason why we entered UVXY, was because of all the great opportunities that Apple has been affording us right here. So I feel like that this has been a pretty good indicator of the market ever since Apple's really gapped down out of this on the 22nd. Let's go look at SPY. When did it start going down? Started going down on the 19th, and then the 22nd was the day it had the real gap. So yeah, pretty much all that bad movement started coming in all whenever all those tech stocks started turning back down, like Apple, Microsoft, stocks like that. But there goes SPY, guys. New low of day today, down to 392.20 there. Let me bring up my Thinkorswim here on the other monitor just so we can see the UVXY position there. It's still open, 3 contracts, $302 right now. I also still have the UUUU one I told you guys about. I'm up 155 on those 3 contracts. It's nothing crazy, but this one's for January, so maybe that can start to pop up a little bit more if the market keeps going. But I figured I'd mention these 2. I know they're the 2 plays that I've been talking about a lot on the stream. Of course, I have a lot of longer term plays and stuff like that going on as well, but those are the 2 that I figured you guys would be the most interested in. But hey, SM fan, thank you for the super chat here. Let's go. Thank you so much, SM. They're saying MDB and Viva levels, please, for sure. Let's check out MDB really quick. Thank you for that super chat here. Wow, Mongo really fell off. I cannot believe this. I actually have a huge level for Mongo here. Let's go ahead and look on that daily. Look at Mongo. It just, oh my gosh, look at this. It gapped right through my trend line, guys. That is insane. It was sitting right on the trend yesterday and just gapped way down below it. So, wow, that is a crazy drop down for Mongo. It's been a while since I looked at this one, SM. Thanks for talking about that one. I always appreciate you there. But yeah, that's awesome. Let's give you some nice supports here. Let's see. I'm seeing some good support. I see a huge support at 250. So be on the lookout for 250. I think that'll be the main one there. It looks like, though, it obviously did hit off of 260 this morning as well. So I would say in the shorter term, use 260 right there where that wick is. I will say, though, it's kind of tough to look at for Mongo because it hasn't been low like this in a while. Let's get the exact level, though. Yeah, 260 for sure on that one. And then, yeah, 250 below that. So be on the lookout. I also see 255 a little bit, so be a little bit aware there. Somewhere between 250 and 260, there is obviously some intraday movement that will probably happen. But yeah, I really appreciate that. SM, that's a pretty cool stock there. Now let's find Viva symbol here, because I don't know what kind of symbol they have, or what symbol they're using here. Viva stock symbol. There we go. VEEV. Oh, well, that was easy enough. VEEV. Oh my gosh, another one that fell off on earnings. Wow, SM, those things are really down a lot. So VEEV, huge support here. Right around, I see it right around 166.50 to 167. I think that's a huge level for Viva. Looking at it, that was a huge level all the way back on March 14th. That was a humongous level there. We had tons of oversold signals at the time. And look at this. We're starting to get oversold signals now. What I will say is that it looks like, whenever you get these big gaps, sometimes these continue down for a few days before popping back up. So keep that in mind with some of these plays here, SM fan, that VEEV might fall down for a couple more days before it finally starts to boost back up. But those are my opinions on the stock. Those are kind of my supports. As VEV falls, a huge resistance level is going to be 175 up here at the top. I think that'll be huge. There's been a lot of bounces right at 175 here on the stock as well. Also right at 176, which is really close, but overall 175 will play as that major resistance on VEV. As far as MDB goes, big resistance I see on this one is right up around 290. And then I have another huge one on that one right around I would say like 308 and then 310. So be on the lookout for those levels on MDB. Like I said, the main one up there is right around 290. So a lot of levels though on these stocks. They gap down, so they're going to have a lot of levels coming up here over the next few days and in the shorter term. So pretty big. But yeah, thank you for joining up today. Mike Chang, Dan, Keisha, Xbox, George, Elias, Cornish says, let's go with some whales. Thank you for joining up. But yeah, appreciate everybody. Jamie, yeah, appreciate you guys. But yeah, Dan says Meta is going against the market. Meta on a green day will pump. I know, right, Dan? This is awesome. We talked about this a lot yesterday, and we kept talking about it in last night's video. There we go. Let's go Meta. Let's go. Come on. That's awesome, guys. Meta's really running up here. That's pretty big. We talked about that a lot in last night's video. That's awesome. They're continuing up with some good momentum here at open. So that's great to see so far. That's really awesome. Xbox says, Tom, do you remember how the LUNC chart looked from the other day? Could you check it now? Let's go check it out. LUNC. That was that crypto. Luna. Oh yeah, Luna Classic, I think. I think that's Luna Classic. Ooh. What happened to that? Wow. That's really running up, Xbox. What in the world? Up to $2? Or does that say 2B? Oh my gosh, 2 billion. What's going on here, Xbox? I'm confused. Oh, I think I need to do... Ah, there we go. Still, though, 75%. Still a big move, though. Holy shit, Xbox. Wow, this is insane. I can't even, like, give you the price here. It's like 10,000, but I don't know. This is... What an insane thing here. This rise is just really insane. 75% today? Like, what in the world is going on with Terra? That's right, Terra Classic. That's right, not Luna Classic. Terra Classic. Wow, yeah, I cannot believe that, Xbox. That is just such a big move. He says he thinks it's the staking. Interesting, but wow, that is some huge runs to the upside there. And like looking at this, like it's been on a pretty good run, honestly, ever since August 23rd. So really, really nice setup there, Xbox. Are you in this one? Wow, I mean that is just seriously insane. That is like, wow. Keisha says, yeah, MDB had earnings. Yeah, they did. It was probably pretty crazy. You're not really looking at it too close. But guys, I will say, check out Meta right now. It's bouncing off of a huge long-term support down here around 155. And we're starting to see some green come back into the stock. I hope that it starts to run back up a little bit here. Hopefully it can start to break out above that high of yesterday at some point around 168. But ha, 3 zeros. Yeah, that's funny. Let's go back. 3 zeros and 29 cents. That's funny, Xbox. Yeah, you're right. 3 zeros and 29. I used to trade some pretty crazy futures that had some crazy... they had some pretty crazy prices like this, too. That's good. You're in this one. Okay, nice. Yeah, glad to see you're up 75% today. Awesome, Xbox. That's cool. Glad to see that one running up for you. You've always been reliable on the streams here, so I appreciate that, and of course I appreciate everybody joining up today. So if you are enjoying the stream, go ahead and smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. It would really help us out as always. But yeah, I know YouTube's been pretty whack lately. I know that a lot of investing channels have been like down in the algos and stuff like that. So any likes really really do help. We appreciate it, but. Yeah, right here. SPY starting to pop back up a little bit more here today. Let's look at the watch list. The UVXY is falling back down a little bit. We were at like $300 open earlier. Now we're at like $275. It's just getting so close to expiration now that it's just, it's getting terrible on the, getting terrible here on these calls. I'm in the money quite a bit on them, which is great, but, you know, we're getting big gaps here now. We're also getting too far into the money, which is good. I mean, hey, I'd rather be in this position, but you know, it's one of those weird weird scenarios. Weird scenario there. I like though following these plays on the stream, kind of keeping them going. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, everyone's talking about Meta, though, today. That seems to be, like, the big stock running. Let's see, is it still moving? Oh, it kind of got rejected a little bit there, but maybe it can pop back up a little bit later. Wow, look at that. Within just, like, a minute there, it started popping back. There we go. Yeah, kind of falling off for, like, 3 one-minute candles. Now we're starting to get some extensions back towards the upside a little bit more, which is cool. SM says, got rid of Okta put really early. I am a little bit mad. Oh, no. I don't even want to go look at this one now. It must be down like 20%. Oh, 30%. Wow. Damn, SM. Yeah, I'm with you. You must have been playing a lot of earnings this week. But they're all seem like they're falling down. Wow. Wow, this poor stock gapped down so hard. It fell below its recent low even, and it's just starting to die. Wow, poor OKTA. I feel bad for this one. Whoa. I hope that other stocks don't start to have this same setup, because a lot of other stocks were kind of looking like this one heading into today. So I hope that it doesn't kind of foreshadow what's to come with some of these other growth stocks, I guess we could call them. Hey, Bill, good morning. Thanks for joining up here. But yeah, I'd be mad too, SM. Hey, Bill says he's on a plane watching Stocked Up. There we go. Guys, give Bill some W's. That's actually really cool there to see that. I can't believe that Bill's watching on a plane. That's awesome, Bill. What type of carrier are you on today? I know I usually fly like Southwest and Delta and a couple others like that, but that's awesome. You're watching on a plane. Maybe you're on a private jet. That'd be even cooler, but oh, Xbox says, I'm not sure how much I'm up. It might be a little bit more than 75%. I think my average price is 0.00009. So 0.00009. Let's see, and it's at 0.00029. Yeah, you're up well over 200%, I'd say. That's awesome, though. Yeah, give him some W's, Keisha. That's awesome. He's flying American. Okay. That's awesome, though, Bill. That's really cool. Oh, SM says they left $500 on the table for those oaked up puts. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty, wow. That's pretty insane. Xbox says Baller Bill in the house. That's funny. Let's go check out American since Bill's on it. Uh-oh. Stocks are down today. That's not good. Check out that daily. Wow. That daily's not looking hot here on American. I'll say that. Got rejected off that resistance, falling down. It seems like it might start to try to fall under this big resistance, and if that's the case, probably going to see a pretty big sell-off if we fall under like 12 bucks. Or I should say big support. If we fall under 12 bucks, which is huge support, then I think we'll see more selling pressure. Yeah, poor OKTA, though. That is a crazy position there. The way that it really fell and everything, that is tough today. But let's go back and check out. Oh, there we go. UVXY came back a little bit. SPY must have fallen back down. But let's see. Unity is leading my watch list down today, actually. Is that the case? If not, it's really close. Square, LI, Boeing, UUUU. Damn, poor UUUU. CZR, Chewy, Win, Fubo, Spotify, Delta Airlines, Corsair, Rivian. Wow. Let's try to watch that flexible grid today, guys. I wish I could take the implied volatility off of all these charts at once. Let's do remove all studies. Wow, it's really lagging here. That's funny. It seemed to make the chart quicker, though. Studies. We don't really need studies to just overlook some of these stocks like this. I want to get this screen nice and good for us here if it can work better without the studies on. Nathan says we liking more SPY puts, up 85% on the one I held. That's awesome. Glad to see you're up so much, Nathan. Let me go check it out really quick. Let's see Let's go check it out. UVXY still seems fairly strong. SPY, yeah. You know, I will say, Nathan, I am being very careful today because I feel like that there can be, I feel like that we might see some movement back up at some point just for the sake of price action. You know, like it's been a little while since we've seen stocks move up a lot. And I think that we really need to see like these stocks start to turn back around to the upside. And I feel like that they might start to do that here at some point. Like SPY, for example, I think has a good chance to start to try to turn back around, and a few other stocks, of course. Elliot says, Tom, are you bullish or bearish on the stock market? Yeah, so that's going to kind of tie in to like what Nathan was asking. So, you know, I am more of bearish right now than I am bullish, but my only concern is that we're getting a little bit oversold in the short term. Like this selling pressure that we've been seeing here has been pretty insane. You know, we're seeing tons of chip stocks go down, just stocks across the board have seriously been selling down. And looking at SPY, I feel like that today we just have to be careful of another pop back up. But even though I'm saying to be careful of a pop up, that doesn't mean I'm bullish. It just means that in the short term, for example, intraday, I feel like we might see like a retest of 394 before we go down, or maybe a retest of 390, 395 or something like that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm necessarily overly bullish. I'm still bearish overall. I just feel like intraday we might see a pop back up. But at the same time, if we keep seeing these stocks like Nvidia, AMD, like, oh my gosh, look at Nvidia. I know Hunter said in SM chat and Discord, he said Nvidia is getting a thorough goosing. Man, yes it is. It's down below 140 here. It's still going down. AMD falling off as well, having another terrible drop. I mean, it's just, these stocks are falling across the board, and if that keeps happening, we're going to see, unfortunately, we're going to see that SPY continue to tank down no matter what. But the good news is that, like, Apple's holding up right now. Microsoft is doing all right. See Tesla, Amazon, like Tesla's up a little bit, Amazon's up a little bit. So all of those stocks are up a little bit off of their pre-market lows today, which is good for the market. But we're seeing those big chip stocks continue to sell. So that's very interesting, but yeah, that's kind of my take right now on the market. So I would say I'm still good with puts here. I think puts are the way to go as long as you see good momentum to the downside. Like right now, I'm not seeing that momentum. So right now, I wouldn't get into puts. Now, if we start to break below 391.82 and we start to see more selling to the downside, kind of like right here in after hours or middle of the day yesterday, we saw this happen a few times where there were some pretty big extensions. I feel like that could happen there again today. SM says, hi, Mike. What economic news came today or what is coming tomorrow? Thanks. Yeah, for sure, SM. But I will say this is Tom. Just to clarify, I know people have been saying it's Tom in the chat, so I just wanted to. I figured I'd have to say something now, but it's funny. Still though, I appreciate you joining up, SM, as always, and thanks for the super chats. I don't care what you call me, to be honest. They say, what economic news came today or what is coming tomorrow? So tomorrow, well, today here, we'll go over what came today. So we did see some stuff come out today with the economic calendar. We saw jobless claims come out this morning. Let's refresh this so we can see. It says the forecast was 246. It looks like it came in at 232. So it came in just down a little bit, which is good though, I think, for the market. So that's good there for jobs. But tomorrow for jobs, we're going to have the big stuff coming out, SM. We're going to have the unemployment rate for August. Then we're going to have the non-farm payrolls for August as well. Those are two humongous, these are two humongous, I guess we would say, these are two humongous economic data points coming out. So it's pretty big there. Yeah, those are the unemployment rates right there. SM says, are you the younger looking one or the taller one? Mike is your brother anyways. Yeah, definitely, SM. Actually, I'm the taller one, but what I will say is that if you're talking about the Saturday videos with Mike and Hunter, you probably haven't seen me on there, so that's funny, but I will say you can go to my Instagram, which is Tom_stocked up if you're interested in that, and you can find me on there. Tom_stocked up. I will say I don't have a lot of pictures on there though. You have to go to my tagged photos to really find anything on there, but yeah, mainly on my tagged photos. But yeah, I'm the taller one, SM, and I am actually I'm older than Mike and Hunter by a little bit, so I am 24. I'll be 25 in January, and Mike and Hunter are a couple years younger. So Hunter's getting pretty far through college though right now. He's getting pretty far with his engineering degree. I think it's actually a biomedical engineering or something like that. Raymond said, did Nancy Pelosi sell her call options yesterday? I don't know. Did she? I have no idea. I know she sold some stuff on Nvidia a while ago, though, Raymond. She sold some stuff on there a while ago. Wow, look at that. All the way down to 138.59. That is a huge move down here on Nvidia. That is a huge drop. 4.86%. There, Nvidia's down 7%. Yeah, my watch list is not showing us everything. Hang on, let's see if we can fix this. Oh, there we go. I didn't know that. Okay. I just had to click my arrows down. Yeah, wow, Nvidia 7%, Asana 7%, AI 17%. Not AI. Ooh. That's brutal, guys. Oh, AI. That is rough on AI. Dang. What a drop. Can't even believe it with AI. I need to like sell some calls on it. I own some shares of AI, unfortunately. It's an unfortunate thing as of right now. Big drop down. Hey, SM says, are you kidding? On way to become very successful. Hey, I hope so, SM. You know, I've been doing the stocks since I was like 16 or 17 in high school, so been going on for 7 or 8 years now. And you know, me and Mike linked up a while ago and got everything going. And yeah, it's awesome. Mike was actually the one who kind of got me into the market, so I was into it, of course, but he's the one who actually kind of taught me some discipline, we'll say. In the beginning, I was just like everybody else, you know, just day trading all across the board and getting into things that expired today and, you know, all types of risky things. And yeah, you eventually kind of, you learn your lesson eventually, we'll say. Had a terrible loss on VXX, which is a story for a different day. VXX was a very funny trade. I know people who have been following us for a while know the story, so it's pretty hilarious. If you guys really want to hear it, just let me know in the chat. If like 5 or 6 people say they want to hear the story, we'll go into the VIX loss story. But hopefully, you guys can spare me the embarrassment of that today. Oh man, SPY though. Let's go check in on our favorite ETF. Wow, there we go. Moving back up a little bit. Honestly, it's not really running up too much, but like I said earlier, guys, I kind of expect SPY to just, you know, hold its ground to go slightly up today. I don't necessarily think that we're going to explode up, but I think that we can see some small type of recovery or something like that. I think it's something that can definitely happen there, but yeah, there's SPY at like 392.39. I just feel like, you know, we're going to move down very slowly. I don't think that we're going to like explode today or anything like that. If that's the case, hey, I hope it happens. It'll be good for UVXY, but especially with like Apple still pumping, Microsoft still pumping, Tesla. Wow, yeah, Tesla falling down to 272.87. Pretty crazy. They're kind of selling back off. I will say Apple recently still had that type of like extension back up, which was cool. Mike says, "Is that your Mercedes?" Hey, Mike, it was. That was my Mercedes actually. I actually got rid of that Mercedes and I got a Mustang now. But yeah, it was my Mercedes. I love that car, I will say, Mike. That car was awesome. If it wasn't a 2008, I probably would have kept it. It was expensive for an '08 though, I will say. That car was it was a 2008 S63 AMG. It was actually pretty what I guess what's the right word to call it? Pretty old, but it was still like very expensive, you know, like it was it cost like 130 grand new, but I picked it up for 30 grand and it had like 500 horsepower. It was a badass it was a badass car. I love that car. I still miss it actually a lot. I miss it all the time, but I will say my Mustang is a lot more fun to drive. That thing is a lot more fun. I'm actually going to the Lake of the Ozarks this weekend, so I'll probably be taking the I might take the Mustang down there this weekend. I don't usually do that, but I might. Yeah, Mike, yeah. That S-Class, it made it awesome. It was that S-Class was amazing. It had so much features in it. Even in 2008, it had so much stuff that even modern cars don't have, like sunshades on the windows and soft closing doors and massaging seats and hell, you could watch DVDs on the main screen in there. I know that sounds silly because it was '08, but it had that. It had like the screen in there would like move back and forth, and for '08, the screen was amazing. That was an amazing car. I feel sad that I got rid of it, but I will say my transmission in that car was about to explode, so had to drop it. The transmission, unfortunately, only certain parts of it were covered under the warranty, and man, whenever you would like go full power on that thing and it would shift so hard and so bad that it would like knock you back and you'd hear a big bang and stuff. It was getting rough there. So only at full power though. If you were just driving normal, it was fine, but that tranny was going. Sloshy Whale says Spy fell again. Yeah, it did. Look at that. Tesla's ripping back down. Spy. Oh, there we go. It finally fell down. Fell below 392. There we go. There we go, Spy. Not looking good, guys. Not looking good. Come on, UVXY. Can you get up? Spy's moving. You need to start running up here. UVXY is having some trouble breaking out, guys. The VIX is not moving as much as I would hope. But yeah, Spy, Tesla. Kenya says, where do you see Tesla going? Well, now that Spy is turning back over and Tesla's turning over with it kind of right now, I would have to say I see Tesla going down. I mean, I'm still bearish on the market 100%. I'm still worried that we're going to be a little bit choppy to the downside because we've been moving down so rapidly. But what I will say is that, you know, if these stocks break below lows like the Spy did, be ready for that downwards price action. And I think that might come with Tesla here. I have a feeling we'll probably end up falling under 271 and we'll probably start to move down even more. But good question though, Kenya. Appreciate you. First, I think that was the first question about Tesla today, which is interesting. So that's funny. But yeah, Mike, if you're on that Instagram, if you look at those tag pictures, that shows how like what I look like more of. But yeah, now I'm on there looking at the Mercedes. Yeah, now I'm missing it. I miss it now. All right, let's go ahead and tell the VXX story, I guess. Xbox says talk about it if you want to, man. It's up to you, but figured I'd talk about it. You know, if you guys are a little bit interested, figured I'd throw it out there. So a while ago, I don't know exactly when. Let's see if we can find it on the daily chart for VIX. Oh, cool. Wow, this VIX goes all the way. Cool. Because VXX was weird for a while, but okay. I have to find the exact time it was. I think we were looking like right here. Keep in mind, guys, that VXX has split a lot since then here. No, that was 15. It was in 16. Maybe it was right here. No? Oh, it might have been this one. I think it was this one. Okay. So, guys, I was trading VXX a while ago, and I had a crazy position going on. So, with VXX, I had a really insane position where... So, here's the main thing, guys. So, VXX, it goes down a lot over the longer term. Like, let's go ahead and look at the long-term chart. No matter what you look at, when you go back in history, VXX is always falling, no matter what happens. You can pretty much short this thing as much as you want, and you're going to win on it. But there is some caveats, okay? There is short fees, obviously, so you can't just short it all the time because sometimes the fees are pretty bad and stuff like that. But for the most part, this always degrades in price, and this goes up with the VIX. The reason that this degrades is just because of how VXX works. It's an ETF. I forget the exact term for it. Mike actually made an amazing video going over how VXX works, but the main thing is that it falls down over time. So the main thing is that I saw VXX pop up like 30 or 40% or something like that over the course of like a week or two. And I thought, you know, hey, now's a good time to short the VXX. You know, these guys, I was reading on all these forums, they said to short VXX all the time. They said if you short shares on this, it'll always go down over the long term and you'll be fine. But the thing is that sometimes in the short term, VXX can pop up. Like look at right here back with COVID. It went from $50 up to $318. That's a huge pop up. That's 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. You know, that's like 5x or something. So looking at VXX back here, it went from like 102 up to 223 or something like that. Well, it goes up like 30%. So what do? Thinking that I'm the smart person I was at the time. I'm not even sure that it was right here, guys. I think it was further back than this. But what do? You know, it starts going up. I throw like $5,000 short, you know, at VXX. And I'm like, hey, okay, $5,000 short. Then it keeps going up a little bit more. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to average up. You know, these guys keep saying that, you know, that as long as you keep shorting this thing, you'll be fine. So I averaged up, threw another $5,000 at it, and the stock keeps going up. And I'm like, oh man, what's happening here? Then I threw another $5,000, average up again. And I'm like, oh crap, another $5,000. Oh, now we're getting deep. You know, now we're getting deep into the averaging in, okay? Then another $5,000. And the stock just keeps going up. Okay, this was like, I think it was during like the China problem in 2018. So it just kept going up and up and up, and I just kept throwing money at it. And eventually, you know, you're like 24,000 deep on this thing, and it goes up like another like 30 to 50%, like right then within that like 1 day period. And you can see like right here, there were huge candles on it, like huge, like big extensions up, big extensions down, then another huge extension up, and it was just huge candles across the board. And it was like swinging my account like 20K at a time on each of these candles. And I ended up shorting it so much that like I got margin called whenever it like flew up at one point, and they sold it out, and I lost like, oh man, I ended up losing like 18K or 20K on it or something. It was like 18K in 1 day, but I think total it was like lost 24,000 or something. It was a terrible thing. And look at it though. The thing was, if they wouldn't have fucking margin called me, it would have came roaring back down over time, and it would have been an amazing play, and it would be, you know, all the way down before COVID, you know, like it would have ended up being an amazing short. But, you know, I got caught there in at the top. So that's the VXX story, guys. It's a rough one. You know, you get caught in some of those short positions like that. You can get burned sometimes. So you have to be careful what you short. I was following some some like hedge fund play. Some hedge fund was shorting it. And, of course, the hedge fund, they had enough money to cover it all. I didn't have enough money at the time to cover it. So, yeah, 24K in a day. It was rough. It was rough. But, you live and you learn. I'm glad that happened. Mike honestly told me, he said, I don't know how you're still trading. He said, I would have quit. he said like 90% of traders would have quit on that. But I stuck with it. Yeah, it was highway robbery, Xbox. It really was, because it only flew up for a little while. Then they margin called me. Then it flew right back down, and I was just like, oh, come on. Oh, it was brutal. Like you said, robbery. They robbed me. Yeah, and of course, you know, out of high school with a huge account, you're sitting there like, oh, man. Xbox says, go Lexus. Yeah, hey, I've been really looking into a lot of those Lexuses, like the LC500 and lots of those cars. They're really cool lately. I've been looking at a lot of those. I don't like any older Lexuses really, though, I'll say that. I'm only a modern day Lexus person. But if I had to choose, I'd be getting a new AMG all day. If I had to choose Lexus or Mercedes. If I had to choose BMW or Mercedes, at that point, if you're getting the big like M6 and like M4 and stuff, and then you're getting like the big, AMG cars and stuff, I would say you just flip your coin. Xbox says, I heard you say 5,000 and I was yelling, sell, sell, sell. I know, right? I wish that was the way. Keisha says, thanks for sharing, Tom. We all have those stories. Experience is the best teacher. Yeah, it definitely is, Keisha. Keisha says, also, I lost a lot of money learning about theta burning. I know, Keisha. That is a pretty harsh thing that everybody usually learns. That's another bad thing. And the thing is like we always try to, like Mike and I, we're always trying to tell people about theta and how it burns off on, the day of expiration and, everything like that. It's really hard, I think, to grasp in the beginning. Theta burning like that. Let's go check in on the UVXY play, though. Let's check in on there. Up 337 there. That's pretty big. $338, not bad. It's coming back for us. Up 121 on the day. Still not as high as like when we cut it, though. Because of, why it's not as high as when we cut it, Keisha? The theta is burning on these. It's September 16th is the expiration, and, it's what's the date? Today's September 1st, so we're starting to see that theta come into play very strongly on these UVXY calls. Like, we need UVXY to pop soon. That's the issue here with this play. It really looks like it wants to, though. Like, this is a pretty bullish setup if we can just get past the next couple days, I think. If we start breaking 1081 and then up above 11, this thing will start to really jump up and be on fire, so. Still running up, though. Nice, UVXY. SPY must be breaking, yeah. Still going lower on the poor SPY. We broke lower a while ago. We're getting another extension down. We're almost down to 390. $0.77 away from the target of 390. Pretty good. Wow, it's seriously going. 390.60 now. Wow, that's huge. Rala has 385 in the Discord on there. Bottom level for the SPY. $390.59. Wow. What exponential moves? That is... This week has been nuts, guys. I was kind of thinking the SPY might start to slow down this morning, but now that we broke that low of pre-market, I mean, that was just an insane sell-off right there. So, wow, we'll take it. We will take it, that's for sure. Yeah, let me know what stocks you guys are seeing running here today. Let's see like what's running. Let's see the watch list. SOS. Well, of course that is. Let's see what's moving off to the downside here. We have AI moving down 20% now. Nvidia's down almost 9% on the day. That is not good at all, guys. Nvidia 9%. Wow. Go look at it. Damn, guys, that is just not what you want to see at all. Nvidia. Let's see, AMD. Wow. AMD's down around like 80. That is pretty insane, though, guys. Sean says Palantir is getting smacked. PLTR. AMD just seemed like it formed a nice little support down there. Same thing with Palantir, actually. These stocks are starting to kind of bounce up. Interesting, guys. Guys, look at AMD here. This thing hit a damn wall here at 80 bucks. Wow. I gotta point that out. I mean, I think that's pretty big. That's just so exact right there. See how these three like bars right there, they line up so perfectly. Honestly, almost the 4 bars. That is insane though. I hope AMD moves up off of that, honestly. It's $80 even. I just want to see some nice like intraday stability come in. Wow, it's actually really close to my support too. Oh, it's actually right on, just below. Wow, okay. I think AMD calls might be a little bit of a good play back up. Just a little bit though. Wow, you got to go back so far to find supports right now on Nvidia. Nuts. $135, and then below that. Wow. Xbox says, how low do you think Palantir can go today? I don't know. Palantir, let's see. How low can you go? I think it's probably done going down today, honestly. I mean, these stocks are so oversold today. They just all had a huge leg. And this is pissing me off because UVXY ain't even going up. Like, come on. UVXY. Jesus, I should have got SPXS. SPXS would have been the way to go. UVXY sucks. Never again. Sean says, yup, starting to feel some call buying. Here we go. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling. I feel some calls coming in here. I'm being honest. I think that AMD's wall at the bottom's pretty good. I think a lot of these stocks at the bottom are looking pretty good. That is pretty big, though. We'll take that. Yeah, hindsight's always 2020. 100%. Well, let's go look at Palantir. I feel like it's going to end up going up. If it did go down, how low do I think it could go is the question. If it did go down, I mean, honestly, there's just... I mean, I would think if it went down, it could get towards 7. Maybe, I don't know. It's already a big drop for it today. Maybe like 725. It's very hard to tell on Palantir, I will say. There's just big candles over here. There's not really any supports. Like, if it starts breaking lower than this, I mean, we're pretty much down into territory we've never been at. So, it's kind of a tough spot here on Palantir. I would say intraday, though, I think we'll pop back up for a little while, kind of like what we've been seeing. Sean says, I kind of like SPY calls here if we can break 391.78. I agree. We actually just broke it, though. Yeah, there we go. I see what you're saying now, Sean. Yeah, right at like 391.80. I see. I like calls right there, too. Good spot. Obviously, it already went up, though, but... Yeah, ever since we saw stocks hit their wall down there, the market's been kind of roaring back up. Like Apple, Microsoft, stocks across the board, really. It doesn't mean they're flying up forever, but, you know, intraday they're at least moving up. Yeah, I appreciate you guys all joining up today. Seriously, I appreciate Keisha, Sean, Xbox, Kenya, Mike, Sloshy. Sloshy. What a name. Sloshy Whale. I feel like, Sean, I feel like that's something like you're associated with because of all the whales you've been posting in Discord lately. I feel like you're associated with the whales. But Bill, Nathan, Elias, Vicky, Raymond, Jamie, George, appreciate everybody. Seriously, I hope I didn't forget anybody. Dan, even, thanks for joining up. Glad to see you in here. But yeah, thanks for making this a better place here. And of course, I appreciate all the comments and everybody liking the stream and everything like that. So really appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat, SM. That's always nice to see too. So awesome. But yeah. See you later, Hunter. Have a good day. Hopefully you can kill it here. Keisha said, I look at Theta now like buying a new car. The minute you drive it off the lot, if the option doesn't go in your direction, every day it loses value. That's right, Keisha. 100%. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about UVXY up here. Hoping it can go up. And yeah, that's actually a really good example here. So that's funny, but oh, Sean put the whales out there. He's got me going now. Oh, that's funny, Sean. Oh, got me laughing. Let's see where UVXY ended up today. We're at 322. Let's see what ended up going down. NVIDIA down 8%. Rough. Fastly. AMC. AMD. Snowflake. DraftKings is down again. Damn. Everything's down, guys, unfortunately. But yeah, have a great rest of your day, guys. Hopefully you guys can have a good day today. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have some pretty big economic data points coming out in the morning. So be prepared for that. 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to have the unemployment rate for August, and we're going to have the non-farm payrolls coming out. So be ready for those. It probably will move the market. Obviously, we want jobs to be good, so we want the unemployment rate to obviously kind of go down. But the thing is that if the unemployment rate falls, that kind of paves the way for the Feds to keep raising rates or to hold rates higher. Because obviously they're trying to juggle right now between jobs and raising rates and inflation and recession. So there's a lot of stuff that they're trying to juggle. With them raising rates, that usually hurts employment and obviously sends us closer to recession. So that's kind of what we're going to look at tomorrow with the unemployment rate and the non-farm payrolls. So be ready for that, guys. It's going to be very important. But other than that, have a great rest of your day. And don't forget to post those profits in the Profits channel.